Hi everyone, Mr. Childs Barnsley Music Service, and today's lesson is going to look at Unit 2. And in Unit 2 we're going to look at pulse and rhythm, and we're going to learn some songs on our ukulele using the bottom string, but we shall come to that shortly. So I'm sure that you've spoken about this with your teacher in music lesson. When we listen to music, there's often an underlying pulse or heartbeat to the song. If you ever go to a disco or to a party and there's some music playing, try to watch your parents or relatives or friends. If the song comes on that they recognise, the first thing that they will tend to do is tap their foot along with the music, or they might sway from side to side, or they might nod their head to the music. Now, the one thing that you notice about all of these movements is that they are consistently even. So everything is the same. All the movements, they don't go like this and then like that. They're all nice and even. And that's generally the same with the pulse in music, that underlying heartbeat. So like our heartbeat, it maintains a nice steady rhythm. That's exactly the same as a pulse in music. So let's just say that you've just been running around in the playground with your friends. Your heart most likely would be beating quite quickly, but still it's beating evenly. And then let's just say that you've just been in the bath and you're getting ready for bed and you're nice and relaxed. Your heartbeat would be beating slower, but it's still beating evenly. And that's just like music. We can have a fast pulse or we can have a slow pulse. So when we listen to a piece of music, the singer or the other instruments won't just play on the pulse. They will be doing all of the kind of things, but they still keep it in line with the pulse and in time with the pulse, but they are doing different things. And this is called rhythm. So we're going to have a look at some rhythms today. So if we think of the 4 heartbeats as a pulse, and if we wanted to write a rhythm that was relatively simple, just playing on the pulse, then we would use beats that look like this. And these are called tar beats. So this 4-bar rhythm would just go ta, 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 ta. Now, let's say we wanted to alter one of our beats and we wanted 2 quick beats, for example. So if you look at this rhythm, on beat 3, I've now got 2 notes that are joined together. So both of these 2 notes still equal the same time as one beat, so we have to play them a bit quicker to get them into that beat, and they're called te-te beats. So this rhythm would sound like this. Ta, ta, te-te, ta. Ta, ta, te-te, ta. Notice how the 3rd beat we play the 2 notes a little bit quicker. Ta, ta, te-te, ta. You have a go at clapping. So now let's have a look at a different rhythm. So could you clap this rhythm yourselves? Could you work out where the tars and the te-te beats are? So this rhythm would sound like this. Te-te, ta, ta, ta. Do that one more time. Te-te, ta, ta, ta. And now we've moved the te-te beat to the beginning. So now let's have a look at a more complicated rhythm. Let's see if you can clap this rhythm. So this rhythm sounds like this. Ta, te, te, ta, te, te. I'll do that again. Ta, te, te, ta, te, te. So now we've got 2 lots of te-te beats, so we have a bit more of an interesting rhythm. Right then, so now we're going to have a look at this in music and see how the rhythms relate to music. If we look at the first song in our unit, which is Snail Snail, you'll notice that it starts off with tar beats. So the rhythm for Snail Snail goes like this. Ta, 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 te, 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 ta. So now we're going to try playing this song with this rhythm on our ukuleles. So when it's below the line, this is an off note. And an off note on our ukulele is the bottom string played open. So we just play the bottom string. You can play that with your thumb or with your first finger, whichever you're most comfortable with. And that's when it's below the line. When it's above the line, it's what we call an on note, and that means that we have to push down with a finger on his left hand, and we're going to push down in the third space. 1, 2, 3. So I would find the third space with my first finger, 1, 2, 3, and I would hold that down and push down, and then I would play that with my thumb, and I get a higher sound, and that's an on note. If you notice also, my thumb is on the back of the neck of the ukulele, and it's directly behind where my finger is pushing there, and that's an on note on the third space. So we now have two notes, an off note and we have an on note. And when a note is above the line, it's on, and when it's below the line, it's off. So if you notice, the start of snail snail starts on an on note and then goes to an off note. So the notes for snail snail go like this. On, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Notice how I played the rhythm as well that's written down. So you have a go at practicing that. When it's above the line it's on, when it's below the line it's off. And once you've learnt the sequence of the notes, the on-off notes, then have a go at applying the rhythm that we've learned to the song as well. And then once you've done that, have a go at singing along as well. So that would sound like this. Snail, 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 go around, around, around. So now I'd like to spend some time going through the songs in Unit 2. They are Snail Snail, Cobbler Cobbler, Hey Hey Look at Me and Up and Down. And I'd like to spend some time looking through them, having a go at playing them. Remember, when it's above the line it's on, when it's below the line it's off. Try learning the sequence of notes and the rhythm, and then have a go at singing along with them as well. And then when you feel confident playing them, you can come back to this video and I'm going to play through each of those songs, and I'd like to try playing along and singing and playing with me. So I'm going to give a 2 count before each song, and then we'll come into the song. The one thing to be aware of is in the song Up and Down, the last note at the end of each line is a circle note with a stem on, and this actually rings out for 2 beats, so it's a 2 beat. And you'll hear that when we play the song, we'll let that note ring for 2 beats. So the first song is Snail Snail. 1, 2. Snail, 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 go around, around, around. Now for Cobbler Cobbler. 1, 2. Cobbler, cobbler, mend my shoe, get it done by 2:30. 2:30 is much too late, get it done by 8:30. And now for Hey Hey Look at Me. 1, 2. Hey, hey, look at me, I am clapping, can you see? And finally, Up and Down, remembering to hold the last note in each line for 2 beats. 1, 2. Up and down and